Hey there, horror fans, how's it going? I'm your host, Douglas here at Drumboy Productions, bringing you another Screaming Ghostface Collector's video. Today's video should be a pretty short one, but a pretty sweet one because we have a pretty awesome item. Really, we're going to be taking a look at two different items, but they're kind of sort of the same thing. This is something that is so cool that I felt that instead of throwing it into like a here's a whole bunch of different items that I got video, this deserved its own video dedicated solely to this because it's so freaking sweet. Over the years, there have been so many different awesome variants of Ghostface masks. There's been the eerie embers, the normal bleeding masks, the fiber optic masks, the fade in and out variants, of course the metallics, the fluorescents, the zombie, scarecrow, pumpkin masks, so many different variants. I could go on for days. But today we're not taking a look at any of those variants, and today's item is actually a little bit rarer than any of those. And it's also one of the most underappreciated in my opinion. The most recent addition of the collection that I'm happy to share with you all is the Glowing Blood Ghostface costume. This is the red glowing blood variant. They did do two different versions. There's a green glowing blood, which looks so sweet. But they also did a red one, which is pretty awesome. I do love the red, but I gotta say between the two, I think the green's a little bit cooler just because, you know, blood normally is red. This one just glows, which is really, really cool. But the green one is like stab green, plus it's like slime if you don't even know the connection to the Scream films, if it's just a Halloween costume. They're just really, really awesome variants. And here we have an original glowing blood that is still sealed. At least as far as I can tell, this thing has never been opened. Everything is still inside. It's still sealed up. It still has the glow blood down here, which is often missing from these. And unfortunately, the costume insert has kind of like been pushed down and has rolled down in the plastic bag, but everything is still here and it's in pretty darn good condition. Like normally whenever you come across older costumes, the insert is just wrinkled to hell. But this one is not that wrinkled. There's like one little dent over here, but other than that, it's pretty much brand new, except, you know, for the part on the bottom that's getting rolled under. But for a new old stock piece, this thing is in fantastic condition, and I'm so happy to have it. I just love this packaging. That image of the glowing ghost face is so cool. The glowing blood font with the glow effect on it. Mask included, of course. And over here, the Omni-Glow TM blood lasts for hours. And then you have an image, which is an example of how the blood effect looks. Now, I don't know if they're actually using the glow masks in these images because it kind of just looks like they took some other stock photos and just added a glow effect to it. Regardless, this thing is so sweet. And one thing I just noticed about this image is here in Ghostface's hand, he has like just some weird random like red pump. It's not the actual ones that were used for the bleeding costumes. As we all know, they use the blood red hearts. And for the glow costumes, they did not use a red heart. They used a black heart. I would assume the reason that they went with the black heart over the red heart is maybe because it's a little bit more opaque than the red one. So obviously you're trying to hide the effect that you have the pump in hand, so you don't want the glowing blood to draw attention to your sleeve. So I'm guessing that's why they did that, but it's a really, really cool effect. Also, not only do I now have this costume, which is brand new and sealed, but I do have the accompanying original mask as well. They did sell these variants as standalone masks, so you did not have to get the full costume. Unfortunately, however, they have that crazy large bleeding mask packaging that we all kind of don't like. And unfortunately, that packaging does not really stand up well to the test of time, whether it's because it's so large or just how it's constructed, because often when you find these older bleeding masks, the packages are damaged. Though they're not really in high demand, so unless it's a glowing costume, there's really nothing to worry about too much. But this thing's pretty much perfect on the front. In the back here, it was ripped open on the side, just a little bit up here, but everything is still intact. Everything is still there, sealed, and never used. So I am extremely happy to add 2 of my favorite variants of Ghostface masks or costumes to the collection. Unfortunately, I don't have a green version yet, but I am happy to have pretty much the red version complete. There is technically another costume, which is a child-size version of this, and it does have a different image on the front as well. And the same goes for the green glowing as well. There's a child size, an adult size, and a standalone mask. I would love to get the green ones in the future, but unfortunately I have not seen any pop up for sale. When they do pop up, they get snatched up pretty quick, but eventually I know they will come up for sale or for trade, so I know I'll get one. It's only a matter of time, but I wanted to go ahead and do a video showing you guys these. And also, unfortunately, I do not have plans to open these and show you the effects, and I know you all want to see that glowing blood work. So luckily, there's someone by the name of Triple Cripple online that got a glowing blood costume and opened it up and tried it out and got video for all of us. Wasn't that so cool? I just love that effect. It's so awesome. I can't wait till we see it in green. Also, I guess it's fair to note that the Omni Glow Blood, I'm pretty sure is just a brand of glow stick. I haven't really looked into it if I'm being honest, but from what we can tell, the effect is pretty much just the same as putting glow stick juice inside of a bleeding mask. However, these particular masks are a much higher quality than the thin, flimsy bleeding masks. The masks on these are a much thicker plastic, and typically they're painted much better than your standard bleeding mask. So whatever these cost at the time in stores, I think it was pretty well worth it, because this has got to be one of the coolest Ghostface costumes or ideas that they've ever done. And personally, I would love to see them bring it back. But I guess let's go ahead and take a look at the packages. I'll read the write-ups on the back and stuff, and then after that I'll just give you guys some nice close-ups of these costumes. Again, unfortunately, no green costumes or masks here, but in the future I will be grabbing them just whenever they become available. Alright, so on the front here it says blood flows and oozes over ghost face. Then, at the bottom, 2-layer mask allows blood to flow without a mess. Over here includes pump and Omni Glow blood. And then Omni Glow blood lasts for hours. No assembly required, just fill with blood and pump. And then the write-up on the front says, bleeding Ghostface headpiece drips and dribbles blood. Exciting new design features animated flowing blood that trickles and oozes for everyone to see. Concealed handheld pump allows blood to be pumped through mask for a realistic effect. These things are just so damn cool. And look at that, here on the back you can actually see the black heart. So instead of your standard red heart, you have a black heart. So if you guys are trying to identify these maybe out of the package, because they do pop up from time to time, typically it's just the mask, maybe it has the robe with it, but you're almost certainly never going to find that original glow blood if it's open. But yeah, if you're trying to identify these out of the package, be sure to look for the black heart, and also the very thick and sturdy, noticeably thick, Ghostface mask here, because these are just way better quality than your standard bleeding. I did also notice that they have absolutely tiny eye cuts. The front of the costume here just has the 2 bubbles. It doesn't have the whole animated blood trickles over the face right up, which I think is a shame. That would really help sell this costume, especially because most people that are trying to get a Halloween costume aren't just going to go grab a mask. They want the whole thing. But I suppose, you know, obviously there's people like me, or just people that wanted to use them for Halloween, that did just buy the mask. But I think that that little blurb being on here would have really benefited. So the back here is pretty much just your standard mask care and safety instructions, because it has, you know, glow fluid in it. But it does have a write-up on the very back that says, bleeding mask drips and dribbles theatrical glow blood. Exciting new design features animated flowing blood that trickles and oozes for everyone to see. Concealed handheld heart pump allows blood to be pumped through mask for a realistic effect. So I guess it's just a slightly different wording, but regardless, these things are awesome. I love the mask, I love the costume, I hope to find the green ones in the near future, or just in the future in general. But I want to know, what do you guys think about the glowing blood costume? Is this a really, really cool design? Is it something that's just kind of overrated? Personally, I think this is one of the coolest ones that really doesn't get that much attention. Another question for you all, would you enjoy seeing either a ranking video or a tier list video of like, I don't know, I could do like my top 10 favorite Ghostface variants, or I could also do just ranking all of them, which would definitely be a much longer, more in-depth video than just a top 10 list. But this guy would definitely make the list for sure. But yeah, with that being said, I guess that pretty much does it for today's video. I'll give you guys some nice close-ups of both costume and mask. Thank you for watching it again. Love you, and see you next time.